See you both. I think Hyacinth is coming back in too.
Great.
Good afternoon. Well, that was enthusiastic. Good afternoon. Thank you. Welcome to the Lake Chapala Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I'm Bob Koches, and I'm today's service associate for our spiritual community. 4 members of our fellowship will be presenting our message this afternoon in what we call a patchwork service. We welcome all of you to our service, especially those who are searching for a spiritual home. May you find solace, understanding, and connection in our shared journey. We are about to enter a sacred time. We are about to make this time and this place sacred by our present and our intention. Please turn off or silence your phones. Our opening words this afternoon are by Allison Wooler. It's good to be together. Now, there's a spot in here where you say, no, that's a different one. I'm sorry. With thankful hearts, we have come together today to celebrate the bounty of the day, to bask in the warmth of this community, to share with friends the tides of our lives, to entertain perennially our hopes for a better future. We join together this afternoon, as always, to resist injustice and equality wherever they may be found. Our hearts are touched by the human need we feel all around us, whether far away or within the reach of our hand. We come here to be together because this is how we believe our lives are best lived. In questioning and in conversation, in compassion and in service, in gratitude and in joy, in companionship and in love. It is good to be together with you today. If you are new and would like to receive our newsletter and other emails, please talk to a member of the welcome team or write to us at LCUUF.org. Would members of the welcome team please stand up? I want to take a moment to extend a warm, very warm welcome to everyone who's visiting us, whether you are visiting us for the first time or have returned and reconnected with us after a long absence. As we pass the mic, I invite you to say your name and tell us where you're from. If you're on Zoom, please introduce yourself in the chat box, and it will be read aloud in the fellowship. We'll start with people in the room. No one in the room today? Do we have any visitors on Zoom this afternoon?
No, we don't. We have no visitors on Zoom.
We're all old hands today. Here at LCUUF, we offer a wide variety of services on various topics presented by our members, outside guests, as well as our minister, Reverend Matt Ausba. We hope you will return to sample this variety of thought and belief. Our chalice lighting words today are by Michael de Vernon Bobette. We are not alone. I invite you to say we are not alone after each sentence I read, and I will cue you by going like this. We are not alone. We are this flame, ancient as the stars, new as the vulnerable spark. We are this circle, rimmed by the spiral dance of searching. We are the light soaring, the shadow deepening, the dance between them. We are the heirs of the tribes and their fires, the healers and their circles. We are here for ourselves, and we are here for each other, and now, having lit our chalice, let us sing these words together.
We kindle this light in celebration for the life that we share.
Each week, we come together to lament with, celebrate, and care for one another in order in our community. Love is not only at the center of our UU values, it is also the opening that invites us to lament, celebrate, and care. As we briefly share our personal joys, sorrows, and our milestones, there is power in the sharing as we hold each other in community. Just a sentence or two is enough. We will start with the folks in the room to give those on Zoom a chance to type joys and sorrows into the chat to be read out loud in the fellowship. As the mic is passed, please share your sorrows, whatever you may be holding, that is in need of healing or caring thoughts, and or your joys, whatever you may be celebrating, whatever evokes within you a feeling of joy. Our gladness.
Excuse me. My name's Tim. I could have stood up, I suppose, during the earlier greeting, because I just got back yesterday from 3.5 months away in California, serving a small congregation there. And I'm joyful to be back here in Mexico, in the land of the sane, and with a really fine president and all that good stuff. But I also have a concern I want to share with you. On my way back, I got an email from an acquaintance of mine who's just experienced a terrible tragedy in her life. She has 3 small children and reached out to me for some, just to reach out to somebody. So I'm sharing that with you to share this burden with me for Jessica. Thank you for your concern.
Hi, I'm Sharon, and I have a joy and a concern. So my first joy is, if you'll please stand up, Marcia, is that Marcia and I just began our 2nd year of Soul Matters Chalice Circle, and it went very well, and we're very glad to be doing it again. So, in line with today's conversation. You can sit down. Our sorrow is one that we asked your healing thoughts for, is our son-in-law, Steve's daughter. Her husband, who's 60 years old, was just diagnosed with stage 3, I can't even pronounce it, orphageneal. It's like throat cancer, but it's not. And he'll be starting 8 weeks daily radiation and chemo tomorrow. So your healing thoughts for a long time for him so he doesn't go to stage 4. It is supposedly a very, supposed to be a very good treatment outcome. The people from Stanford did a second look and it looks good, but you know, stage 3 cancer is not so very good.
Hi, I'm Barley, and I have a sorrow. My mother-in-law, who is 91, passed away on Thursday, and my husband was there to hold her hand through it, so that was good. And the one thing I want to share about Maddie is she was so excited as a black woman when Barack Obama was elected president. She had his photo on her wall in her living room.
Hi, I'm Priscilla, and joy is Ted and I just returned from almost 3 weeks up north visiting family in the San Diego area, and then we flew up to the Seattle area to see friends of 30-plus years. So it was poignant to be back in the Pacific Northwest, and all of the political things, of course, were main topics that we all had to catch up on. The local concern is, you may already all know about Dee Dee. Dee Dee's been in the hospital, very, very ill. She may be coming home within the next several days, and stay tuned for meal train information, etc. But she's slowly improving.
Yes, my name is Mia, and I would like us all to think about a 26-year-old young lady, Maddie Reyes, the daughter of a mechanic, a female mechanic, and a beloved person in this community. Maddie has had radiation and chemotherapy for metastatic bone cancer. And we're going to have, as I said, she's 26 years old. A group of us are going to have a benefit for her family on the 10th of October, a Friday, at Sentido's restaurant, in hopes that we will raise money to bring her home and have home care. So please keep her in your thoughts.
Are there any joys and sorrows that were shared on Zoom this afternoon?
Yes, there certainly are. The first one is from Devorah. 10 members of my family gathered at my youngest cousin's house in Massachusetts yesterday as we celebrated our family Thanksgiving, since there is no way I'm coming up here at the end of November. And also, my first cataract surgery went well last week. Second one will be done this coming Wednesday. Okay, that's all.
I'll add one more. Mary Doan, who's played piano for us, her son was in a horrible accident and I believe is going to rehab this week, to a rehab facility. And this candle from our care team, we light to represent the joys and sorrows spoken and witnessed today, as well as those we hold in silent sanctuary of our hearts. Let us share a moment of silence. As we know, the work of our fellowship within these walls and beyond takes our treasure, time, and talents. The offering we take each Sunday is an opportunity to recommit to this place and to these people. As we pass the baskets, if you are new here today or you are struggling to hold things together, please let the basket pass you by. Your presence is more than enough and is a gift to us. This giving and receiving is as much a ritual as lighting our chalice. It is a reminder of that form of love we call generosity. It is how we show that we believe it is important to worship together, to help our community, and to say yes to the values of our faith. Please know that we give money collected at the service to an organization providing services to our lakeside community. This month, we are donating the basket to Operation Feed. The description is on the monitor. We take to heart these words by Kristen Collins. We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space. We give with the faith that together we have enough. May this offering sustain and grow the life and work of this congregation. May we give in love and in hope for a better world. Our opening hymn is Come, Come, Whoever You Are. Rumi's Come, Come, Whoever You Are deeply reflects Unitarian Universalist values by embodying an open-hearted invitation to everyone, regardless of imperfection or past mistakes, to be welcome into a community striving for justice, equality, freedom, and peace. This poem resonates with the UU's emphasis on embracing human imperfection, continually striving towards ideal, and creating a compassionate, inclusive, and imperfect but hopeful community where all are invited to belong and grow together. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing. Cesar will play it through once, and then we will sing it twice, once in English and once in Spanish. Well, I guess we got our practice in on Spanish. Today's reading, Community Means Strength, is by Starhawk. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned. We can only catch glimpses of it from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends, someplace where we can be free. For the past year, a group of us have explored our personal spiritual journeys in small communities called Chalice Circles. As we walked our own spiritual path in groups of 6 to 10 individuals, we reflected on specific topics that helped us guide us in our spiritual reflections. Using deep listening, we honored and accepted, without comment or judgment, the individual and our community wisdom. 4 of those participants are here this afternoon to share their experiences. We will hear from, in this order, June Wilson, Susanne Bjorne, Tim Boeve, and Mike Blanco, who will join us on Zoom.
Hello, everyone. I've been a member here at LCUUF for a little over 3 years now. And I've been participating in the Chalice Circle program for the previous year, and then we've had our first meeting of a different group of people, but it's the same process. It's been such a pleasure. Whoops. Oh, I didn't talk fast enough. I have participated in the offerings that we talk about that are available here at UU, and I've considered that. Okay, thank you. Oops. Well, anyway, it's been very beneficial. There, thank you. It's been such a pleasure to be involved in events that aid me in spiritual growth. So when new opportunity arises, I sign up. So I signed up for Chalice Circle, and immediately, as soon as I could, and I have to say it's hard for me to explain what it's meant to me because much of it takes place in a very intimate part of yourself, and the words to describe it they're just difficult to find. But I'm going to give it my best effort. At first, I was a bit confused about the format. It's not a book club, it's not a debate group, or even a discussion group. To me, it's a small group of people who are interested in understanding themselves and others. This group works on self-reflection, deep listening to both ourselves and others, and it really takes some courage to do that. We receive a topic for the month, and it's usually a 1 word or maybe 2 words of phrase. And then with the packet, we have a little explanation of high level of what the topic is. And then we're given a list of resources that we can use. We can always find outside resources too, it provides us with sometimes actually the poem or the song there in the packet, or links to such things, and questions after you pick questions to direct you. Then we pick a topic out of the 4 activities, not a topic, excuse me, an activity out of 4 activities, and we're on our own pretty much. There are questions at the very end of the process that you can use to go a little deeper into the topic. So, let's see, I've lost my spot. Well, anyway, so now we get to the part that really I found very confusing, because I spent hours reading all this stuff and really enjoyed it, and I felt like I learned a lot. And then when I found out I was going to get 5 minutes to talk and it wasn't about the content, I was like, wait a minute, I feel like I've learned a lot and I want to tell you about it. So it just sounded crazy to me. But the thought of being able to share my, okay, I went off way at the beginning, so I'm in trouble here. But, so part of the problem for me was that I not only couldn't talk over my 5 minutes, I had to sit and listen to 9 other people do their 5 minutes. And then I couldn't speak about it even yet, so I bit my tongue for quite a while there. But meeting by meeting, I got better at it. I became able to self-reflect in a new way. I saw the members of the group in a new way, a way that allowed me to live out what I say I believe. I began to really feel that I'm connected to others. And through that awareness, I've become able to see my own unskilled behaviors, as the Buddhists would kindly call them, and recognize how harmful they can be. I've become more compassionate and appreciative of the uniqueness of every one of us. I just feel connected to all that is. And after all, there's nothing in anyone else that isn't in me. So I vote yes to Chalice Circle. Thank you.
I know why it dropped. There's a hole here. I don't want that to go. My name's Susanne Bjorne. I believe I've been a member of this fellowship for probably a little bit more than 3 years. It's been 3 years since my husband Johannes and I decided to be here mostly full-time. And I know that, I'm pretty sure that we had joined even during the time that we were trying to balance our time between our place in Cincinnati, Ohio, and here. So I've been with LCUUF for at least 3 years, and also I was a member of the gathering in Northern Hills in Cincinnati for about 7 years before that. I jumped at the chance also to join a Chalice group. I thought it would be a great way, I thought a discussion group would be a great way to get to know people here. I had been a part of a discussion group in the UU service, UU church, they use the word church, that I went to in Cincinnati. It was very free form, and there were several times when I thought, well, it might be a good idea to have a little bit more structure here and a little bit more substance. And then through my professional life and my personal life, I've been involved in many, many book discussion groups. And I've always found that the best are those in which the participants allow the themes of the book to touch their own lives and then share that with the rest of the group so that we get to know other people as well and to know how they think and how they feel. So coming in with that background, I found that the structure of I found a structure that was very, very different from what I expected. I went to the introductory training session for facilitators of the various groups, and we were told about a fairly rigid structure of in the meetings of who speaks when and who doesn't speak when. We were explained to about deep listening. And most importantly, it was said emphatically, this is not a discussion group. It is instead a spiritual practice group which follows the very specific and well-established, I might say, principles of the Soul Matters Sharing Circles organization. Now, there are a lot of ways to talk about deep listening, and you've heard some and you'll hear more probably today. The way I absorbed the concept was that deep listening is uncritical but silent perception of what the individual in front of you is saying. That is, there are no interruptions, no comments, not to disagree, certainly, not to correct, of course, but not to clarify, not to ask for clarification, not even to indicate that you understood, that you agree, that you sympathize, that you empathize, or that you support the person. The second big part of the Soul Matters curriculum is the packet that drops into your email once a month on a theme for that month, and it's voluminous and several pages of a PDF. It contains quotes, video clips, links to film, books, music, every format that you can think of, all designed to illustrate and to offer thoughts about that month's particular topic. In addition to the reading, there are 5 suggested activities to help you to learn by doing. So it does become very active. And there are 10 or 20 questions at the end of that packet, stimulating your thinking and your reflection about how the particular theme that month relates to you and to your previous life. You prepare for the meeting by choosing and doing one of the activities, and then by selecting, or as they say, being selected by one of the questions. You select the question that grabs you most, or that shimmers, as they say. At the meeting, there are 2 speaking rounds, one for everyone involved to individually speak about the activities that they did, one in which we talk about the question that we answered. Following each speaking round, there is the very limited opportunity for you to give feedback to the people that you've listened to. But it's not as easy as you might think. You get to single out one person whose remarks have touched you in some particular way, and then you get to thank that person for the gift they've given you and to explain to that person and to the rest of the group how it touched you. So I was not alone in my doubts, but at the facilitators meeting, we all agreed that we would follow this curriculum in the way it was designed through at least 6 months and try to do what was in mind and to see how it worked. I was pleased that when we got to the small group that I was a part of, Each individual, we shared our doubts, we shared the curriculum, and each individual agreed to try it and that we would go along for the 6 months or however long that we felt that it was working out. We covenanted to follow that. So what happened? Well, I struggled terribly with the model because of its lack of interaction. I don't think I had any problem not being critical of people when they were speaking, but I had a real problem about the prohibition against providing positive feedback and encouragement. Most of the people went pretty deep into themselves when they were answering the questions and doing the exercises. And I had the definite feeling often that this may have been the first time that the person voiced something to themselves about this topic in their life. And certainly it may have been the first time they voiced it out loud. And it was hard for me not to give encouragement. But over the course of 10 months, 10 meetings, it worked surprisingly well. I don't think we even reconsidered after the 6 months that we had talked about. I got to go much more about the individuals in my group, all of them, including myself. More surprisingly, I survived without getting or giving the positive feedback that I so wanted to give in the way that was comfortable for me and that I preferred. And you know what? The others survived too without it. So overall, it was a positive experience, and I had no trouble signing up for the second year when the time came to do that. I indicated that I was available on other days this year, and I got assigned to a totally new group, totally new in the sense that I didn't know any of the individuals, or I had not been with any of the individuals in that group before. We met this past week, and we have 3 different groups represented in the individuals that are in our group this time. We reviewed the process and talked over things and wrote a covenant. And there are some minor changes that we are making to the structure, but not to the spirit of the curriculum, and certainly not to the deep listening. And then, yesterday morning, bright and early, into my mailbox dropped the packet for October. And that, to me, I can't tell you how much it means to me to have somebody present me with that each month. My whole professional life, I've spent many hours collecting, evaluating, researching, formatting, and delivering research to other people. And it's really great to have somebody do that for me. It's like Christmas every month. I use the packet daily, either the activities or the readings, or I spend an awful lot of time pondering the question at the end. That's the hardest part for me. And I know that this year, I'm no longer worried about getting to know new friends. That's a given. So what I've moved on to is that this year will be more of a concentration on my own spiritual development. But I will look forward to anticipating and appreciating the stories and struggles and explorations that others have made, because it reminds me of the incredible diversity that we have among people in the world, and particularly those here in our little corner of it in Chapala and in our fellowship, for which I'm grateful. Thank Thank you very much. Thank you for listening deeply.
Listening to both June and Suzanne, there definitely is a theme running through all the things that we're talking about this morning. And as I mentioned earlier, having spent the last 3.5 months serving a church in California and missing the last 2 sessions of our Chalice Circle group, to jog my memory, I had to go back and review some of the material that we covered in the months prior to my departure to serve as the summertime pastor at Olympic Valley Chapel near Lake Tahoe. Here are some of my reflections about the Chalice Circle group that Adele St. Pierre and I co-facilitated. I came across a poem which all of us in the Chalice Circles encountered in our very first session together by Martha Postlewaite, called Clearing. Here's what it says. Do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forests of your life and wait there patiently until the song that is your life falls into your own cupped hands and you recognize and greet it. Only then will you know how to give yourself to this world so worthy of rescue. Well, what the poet described as patiently waiting was much of our collective experience. We waited patiently and practiced listening to each other, refraining from interrupting, and allowing each individual to do some forest clearing of their own experience of the various themes we addressed in our weeks together. Speaking more personally about my experience, welcome back, Bob. Speaking more personally about my experience as a well-practiced interrupter, if not with actual spoken words, then with the influx of unspoken words about what I might want to say in response to what I was hearing while someone else was speaking, our Chalice Circle discussions provided me with the opportunity to really practice what our Soul Matters instruction told us at the very beginning of our journey together, to practice deep listening by holding at bay our own thoughts like, do I agree with what this person is saying? Or he's not making eye contact. Maybe he's nervous or something, and yada, yada, going through the brain, right? To stop the flow of analysis and judgment. That was my practice as our group met together in our monthly meetings. Along these same lines, another poem we were exposed to was a poem called She Let Go by Sapphire Rose. Love that name. I changed it to He Let Go to make it more personal to me. Here are some of the lines to that poem. He let go. Without a thought or a word, he let go. He let go of the fear. He let go of the judgments. He let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around his head. He let go of the committee of indecision within him. The Chalice Circles provided me with the perfect opportunity to let go and practice the deep listening we were invited to engage in, listening not just with our ears, but with our full bodies, to be fully present with each person while they were speaking. Another routine practice in our meetings was expressing gratitude for something that really touched us from what another person shared. The German mystic Meister Eckhart once said that if the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. In a sense, we were able to practice this prayer in response to the others in our group as they shared. The opportunity to express gratitude to someone was a real gift of our Chalice Circle meetings. How freeing not to have to analyze or explain, just to say thanks and voice our appreciation. In my review, I looked through the material that I had written in preparation for each of our group meetings. In the topic on repair, for example, I wrote a long overdue letter to my body as one of that month's exercises presented to us as an option. I chose to focus on this exercise primarily because I was dealing with considerable pain and muscle weakness for much of last year, so it seemed appropriate. So I wrote about the physical afflictions I was enduring at that time, and I recounted the many injuries this body has sustained throughout the years, as well as expressing gratitude for its mostly stable service, enabling me to enjoy a variety of sports and physical activities for some 70 years. Having a group to express what I was going through physically and assignments that allowed me to reflect on this experience was an unexpected blessing. Finally, the experience of being a participant with our group and getting to know the others, some of whom I hadn't actually met before our first meeting, was also a highlight for me. I've come to see that how I experience being a spiritual person is through connection with others who share my values and provide encouragement for my own life in living a life with meaning and purpose. Our Chalice Circle gave me this wonderful gift for which I am and will remain grateful. Thank you.
Happy day. My name is Blanco. I've been attending for Zoom for quite some time, about a little over a year now. And I think the most important thing for me about Chalice Circle is connection. Connection goes beyond the surface or even issues. Not that there's anything wrong with everyday talk about the weather or the price of coffee or weekend plans. Those are all good things. And discussing important topics is vital, I think, and act in a morally informed manner. But conversation that digs deeper is different. It can be alluring, mysterious, and a bit frightening at times. It's rare. Chalice Circle brings together the melange of needs and emotions into an environment that provides structure and freedom at the same time. It touches places in our soul that other conversations don't. We listen and we are heard. It doesn't fix anything. It doesn't necessarily initiate lifelong friendships, though it might. But that's not the ultimate point. It's that connection for that brief moment in time where we find a wholeness that completes us as humans and enriches all of our relationships. And that's my experience with Chalice Circle. Thank you.
Thank you all for participating in that and sharing your experiences. Our closing hymn is Spirit of Life. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing. We will sing it twice, first in English, then in Spanish. Cesar will play it through once before we sing. May the flame of our community ignite a love bold enough to share. And in return, may we all be embraced by a love that remains constant in times of sorrow and in days of great gladness. That was by Robin F. Gray. Let us extinguish our chalice with these words, which we read together. If anyone has any questions about Chalice Circles or wishes to sign up, I will be at the little table right outside the door after the service to answer any questions for you. Our postlude is our meditation today. As you wish, please enter into a relaxed state, close your eyes, and reflect on your own spiritual journey, whatever that may be, as Cesar plays Bach's Air on a G string. Our worship is over. Our service begins. Go in peace and with a purpose.